We're one big bear family. Our bear family, it's like every other family and stuff. You love them to death, but there's other times they drive you nuts, right?
Jim and Susan run a centre for orphaned wildlife in Otisville, New York.
I'm there every day, but he is the one that walks in the door and everybody lights up. You know, and it's kind of funny because they just love him to death. Come on, go inside or get out of the way. And I'm the one that does all the work, and he just has to walk in the door.
This is Jimmy, a 21-year-old Kodiak bear rescued from a closing wildlife park. He's just one of the 11 bears that lives with them.
They knock you around a little bit and stuff, nothing, you know, not maliciously, you know, but you gotta watch you don't get scratched or poked in the eye or something. Hey, you know better than that. What are you doing? It's all right. They kill you, you know. He just have to hit you one time.
Kodiak bears are one of the largest species in the world.
He's about 1,400 pounds, and if he stood up on his hind legs, he'd probably be about 9 feet tall.
Think of the strongest person you know or whatever, and you can magnify that by 1,000 times. Yeah, he's big. I mean, a small bear will kick your butt, and he's got so much strength. All he would have to do is lay on you. There you go, there's the answer.
He's like them. He's like a bear. He has no fear of them. It's really amazing. We've had Jimmy for 21 years now. Got him as a little cub, and he's been with us his whole life.
Taking care of bears throughout their lives means that Jim and Susan develop deep bonds with the animals.
Exactly the same as like somebody was mourning their child.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's the same thing. We spend a lot of time with them. We care so much for them. We lost 4 altogether so far here.
It would be just like burying one of your family members. I can't.
Back at the centre, it's lunchtime. In the wild, these bears need to eat up to 90 pounds of food every day. Everything from baby elks to spawning salmon, berries and plants.
You guys ready to eat?
And here, the bears enjoy a daily diet of meat, grains, breads, fruit and veg, with the occasional marshmallow treat.
These bears, the ones in the wild, they're always looking for food. They really don't want for anything other than attention.
One of the other bears at the centre is Jenny.
When the bears are little and they're with their mother, after they drink their milk, they suckle on her for a time, and they make this little noise that you hear. She just never grew up. She still does this. She looks at me as if I'm her mother. When she gets to the pinky, she likes to just bite down on that pinky. I love being around her, and I'm happy that she feels that way about me still after all these years. Oh, peanuts. All right, I'll have some peanuts. It's all a wonderful thing to watch them grow up and to have them from very little and to make an impression on them.
They're like your children. That's how much you love them. And they give a lot back to you too, you know, they love you just as much. Sometimes you take it for granted, but it is a special relationship.
Yeah, the bears are everything to me. I would do anything for them. I spend all day with them every day.
This is our life. We're one big bear family.
Do I prefer bears to humans? Are you playing with your tongue? Well, actually, sometimes I do.
Ah, beautiful.
My name is Monica Welde. I am president, owner, and senior trainer here at Bearadise Ranch. My bears are part of my family. Right now we have 14 bears. Over the course of 91 years, some of our bears have been born in the family, some have been adopted. We're licensed to take in bears that need homes. So our oldest bears right now are 23 years old, and our youngest ones are 5. My son was raised with the bears. He started to interact as a young child.
I've been around the bears since I was 3 years old. Our bears live on the back of our property behind our main house. They're like family to me. I see them every day, so they're just my siblings, basically. I go out and take care of the bears, feed them, clean them, interact with them a little bit, you know, talk to them. I let them out in the habitat so they can run around, play, be bears.
Here at Bearadise Ranch, our bears have natural habitats to come out and enjoy. They have a spring-fed pond. We have pools, grass, trees. My husband and I thought it would be nice for our bears to live like a bear. This year, we lost my husband, my partner, suddenly and unexpectedly passed away. It's been a huge loss for our family and our bears. But my son and I decided to continue the family legacy and go on for my husband. The bears have been in their family 91 years and he's greatly missed, but I see my husband everywhere I look. I know the bears miss him. They do notice his absence.
Well, my dad was my teacher, my best friend, he taught me everything I know. My mom is also very close to the bears. You know, they're her family. To my mom and dad, they were everything to them, so she loves the bears very much. I'm very proud of her for carrying on my dad's legacy with me. It's not easy, but we're getting through it.
This is Kenai. He's a 5-year-old male grizzly bear. We adopted him about 3 years ago. He's not full grown. He's got about 5 more years to grow. He loves attention. And he knows I have a honey bottle behind my back. Oh, yeah, big kisses. You're a sloppy kisser. I'll put a little bit on your paw, okay? I know you want the whole bottle. Our daily interaction with our bears is communication, loving, petting. They thrive on that physical contact. We never forget they're a bear. They're a bear first. Even though we share our lives with them, we respect them for what they are. And we want them to live like a bear. So we built Bearadise Ranch. Sticky kiss. You got sticky kisses, Kenai. Sticky kisses. Good job. Good job.
Right now I'm petting Lucy. Lucy and her sister Tootsie. These two are both 8 years old. Hi, Misha. Hi, Misha. That's one of Kenai's sisters. Misha is 5 years old. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. To us, they're very safe. They're not big on strangers, but which is understandable. We've raised them, so to us, they're very, very sweet. Come on, Freddy boy. Good boy. This is Fred and Ginger. They're both 23 years old, European brown bears. We had both of their parents and their siblings, and when they were born, they fit in the palm of your hand. Fred weighs around 800 pounds, and Ginger is about 400 pounds. My mom hand-raised both of these from cubs.
My bears have never attacked anybody. We've never had an incident with the public or with ourselves. I do have a few scars on me from their claws. That's natural. They're a very powerful animal. They'll lick us and kiss us and hug on us and touch us. I've worked with bears 37 years and I have all my fingers, so it's a good track record. Oh, he can be gentle too. There he goes, he's gonna suckle, watch. Are you playing with your tongue?
One more time. Give me a kiss. Good boy, Kenai. Good boy. Yeah.
I'm sure there's people out there that say you shouldn't have a bear in human care. They should be in the wild.
Kenai, open. Good boy. Hold it. Hold it. Good boy.
Well, what I have to say to people who say that, first of all, the wild is disappearing. There are so many people on this planet. We are taking all the resources from the animals. All their habitat is shrinking. 6 out of 8 species of bears on our planet are threatened and endangered. Are my bears safer with me than in the wild? I would say so. I have spent 37 years of my life with bears, and I plan to, as long as I'm physically able to, I will work with the bears till I grow very old. And I feel confident they will be taken care of after I'm gone. We didn't see it ending with my husband's death. So we are going to continue the Welde family legacy and keep Bearadise Ranch thriving. I love sharing my life with my bears. I'm very blessed.
When you have bears, there's no vacation. These are wild animals. They are apex carnivores, and they rule the roost. I've had an interest in bears since I was a boy. I never thought I'd get a bear. 30 years ago, I'd been sick, had a neurological disease, was paralyzed at a young age. And when I got back on my feet and I had this opportunity to get a bear, I thought, you know, this will be my therapy. I'll hang out with it in the woods. And that's how it all began. I started off with one bear, Brody. He would take 9 half-gallon calf bottles at a time. Started off at 8 pounds. At a year old, he was 400 pounds. A year and a half, he was 550 pounds. So I bottle fed him for 3 years. When you raise a bear, you become the surrogate mother, and they won't leave your side, and they go through a lot of separation anxiety. It's a lot like a human being. Most definitely when they're young, they see you as their mother. I clearly remember the first time I realized that a bear isn't a dog. It was a 60-pound bear cub. That may sound silly, but most people think that if they take a wild animal and they love it and they treat it just right, that somehow they will get it to surrender its natural instincts, and that'll never happen. You can never tame a bear. You can train one, but you can never tame one. The 2 bears I currently have are Bob and Screech. They're littermate brothers, around 7 years of age, and they came from a park in Georgia. It was a tourist attraction, and they went out of business. And prior to going out of business, a friend of mine had called me and said, hey, they've got a couple bear cubs they don't want. I didn't pay for them. They were given to me. People asked me if I rescued them, and to me, that's kind of an overplayed word. I took them, I've raised them, and I've loved them, and I try to give them the best life that you can give a captive bear. Who knows what their fate would have been? When I started handling bears, it was just to interact with them. Nothing commercial, but I realized it's going to take a lot of money to facilitate this hobby. So I tried to marry a hobby with a profession. I started doing commercial work, TV shows, live appearances. You want to play? You want to play? And it evolved into the educational presentations where the animal itself can benefit and people can benefit, so I can hopefully save the lives of people and of bears. And that's where I'm at now.
No bear likes to be surprised, but if you surprise a brown bear, and they perceive that as possibly you being a threat to themselves, they're young, their food source. And oftentimes these guys try to kill you because they're trying to eliminate that perceived threat. That's why they tell you to play dead if you're out in the backcountry and you're attacked by a brown bear.
I've always been reluctant to tell people that they are pets because they don't meet the traditional definition of a pet. Most people don't have pets that can kill them, but it comes with the territory. These are wild animals. They are apex carnivores, and they rule the roost.
The main thing when you have them in captivity is to keep them from being bored. You know, you see the neurotic behavior, the pacing, what they call stereotypy in zoos oftentimes. These guys have a lot in this habitat. That's one thing we don't want. We don't want pacing, we don't want them going nuts.
I feel my main focus right now with Bob and Screech is to use them to educate people on how to behave in bear country to save the lives of people and of bears. As habitat is shrinking, there's less area for the bears. My main focus is just trying to keep people alive and keep bears alive. When you have bears, they take up all your time. There's no vacations. I've had bears 30 years and you're always thinking of, whether it's getting food, building new enclosures, there's no downtime. This isn't an animal that's a low maintenance animal. I worked on a program called Project Grizzly. I was trying to take Bob and Screech, two captive-born, captive-raised bears, to see if it was possible to release them into the wild. The problem with a bear in the wild is if it loses its fear of people and becomes habituated, or if it associates people with food and becomes food conditioned, it's usually marked for death. The question was, can you take these captive-born animals and make them afraid of people and get them to stay away from people? And the experts that we had involved, some said that unless you use aversive conditioning with pain, like oftentimes they'll use water bullets and rubber bullets and pepper spray and bear dogs and lots of different things to just make them scared to death of human beings, but I wouldn't do it. My bears are well cared for and protected, but what we pretty much determined was unless you implement that type of aversive conditioning, you're not going to get these guys to fear humans.
You're a good boy. Mud all over your claws.
I love them, but I watch them.
Good boy.
I make sure that I keep my mind where it should be, knowing that these animals, I wouldn't say would turn on me. Turning on me, in my opinion, would be it coming out of left field. A bear attacking me for absolutely no reason, can't put your finger on it whatsoever. But I know darn good and well, if I go in there with a hamburger, I better bring it up for the whole class, or I am going to get hurt. There's no surprises to that. People ask me, what does the future hold for Bob and Screech? I've made arrangements if something were to happen to me that they could go somewhere. But their future at this time is just to stay with me. I know some people would think that that's not healthy for them, but once they build a bond with somebody, it's kind of hard to break that bond.